Welcome to the Pachehra Talks. Hello, everyone. My name is Arun, and I'm Solutions Architect with Rackspace, which is one of the best organizations to work with. And today we are back with the Azure Updates. It's 21st July, and let's see what all updates we have to go through. As we have already discussed many times, that we should be aware of all those new updates which are generally available, so that we should not be anxious, or we should not be blank or embarrassed in front of the customer. Because whether it's a pre-sales call or whether it's a detailed design call, these things will definitely help you. So you should be aware of all the generally available updates. So let's dive into it one by one. So the very first update right here, as you can see, is CICD guidance for Azure IoT Central. Well, let's try to explore it little further, because continuous integration and continuous delivery refers to the process of developing and delivering software in a short frequent cycle using automation pipelines, agile methodology, iteration, sprints, things like that, right? And Microsoft has released guidance and sample code to help you integrate your IoT Central applications into your own Azure pipelines, which will help you to automate the build, test, and deployment of IoT Central application configurations, which will, of course, enable development teams to deliver reliable releases more frequently. And if you guys are wondering what exactly hooking it up with the Azure pipelines when we talk about Azure IoT Central, because it is itself a PaaS service, well, that's a very good question, and let's try to understand. We know continuous integration starts with the commit of your code to a branch in a source code repository. Each commit is merged with commits from other developers to ensure that no conflicts introduced. And finally, after going through all those integration process, we get a deployable or executable artifact, right? And in case of IoT Central, it would be IoT Central application. So for IoT Central, we deploy configurations and device templates, and these configuration and device templates are managed and integrated into your release pipeline. So yeah, that's what it is. And if you guys are new with the IoT Central and not started digging IoT Central, I can tell you this: IoT Central is IoT PaaS service, or that does the same thing that any other PaaS service, reduces the burden and cost of developing, managing, and maintaining enterprise-grade solution. In this particular situation, enterprise-grade IoT solutions. So if you choose to build with IoT Central, you will have the opportunity to focus time, money, and energy on transforming your business with IoT data, rather than just maintaining and updating a complex and continually evolving IoT infrastructure. So you will get this in handy, and the best part is it would be customizable. You will get the web UI, web user interface, which will help you to customize as per your need. So that's what IoT Central is. So now you can hook it up with the Azure pipelines. That's a great progress. The second update we have is tag filtering in Azure Advisor. So we already know what tag is, why we use it, how we use it. We have covered it, all these, in many videos. So in particular, Azure Advisor, it will help us to filter recommendations or calculate scores using tags that we are already using on our Azure resources, resource groups, and subscriptions. It will help us to identify cost saving opportunities by business units. Like we can filter through business units. There is a filter option, and we can choose tags, and we can optimize critical workloads by comparing scores. But to utilize it, your organization should have a tagging strategy in place. Yeah, we have covered this under AZ305 tagging strategy. If you'd like to go through that video, if you're not sure how it exactly done. The third one is Calico for Windows AKS. Well, this will already giving away what exactly this GA update is. Well, we when we run application Kubernetes, we want to control the communication. Doesn't matter whether it's Kubernetes or running applications on VM on anywhere. We would like to control the communication for obvious reasons, right? And if we talk about Kubernetes, we have network policies with Calico network policies for AKS, but it was only available for the Linux nodes prior to this update, and now it is available for Windows as well. And this new feature allows customers to use network policy with Windows Server on AKS along with Linux as well in a single cluster. And you need to make sure the version of your Kubernetes cluster is 1.20 or above. Another one is PowerShell 7.2. Azure Functions support PowerShell 7.2, which enables developing and deploying Azure Function apps for production scenarios using the latest version of PowerShell. Yes, that's the latest version till date, like the time I'm recording this video. And Azure Functions PowerShell 7.2 require your Power App to be Functions runtime version 4, and MS strongly encourages you to upgrade your function app to the latest version of PowerShell. All right, so it's the support, nothing biggie. Then we have, this is something very interesting. Well, container network interface plugin. We know AKS, when we deploy the advanced, deploy AKS with advanced networking, it gives the CNI, right? CNI plugins. So, which is there to assign the IPs from the virtual network. But now AKS now supports deploying clusters with no pre-configured CNI, no pre-configured container network interface plugin. This facilitates use of almost any CNI plugin, whether open source or commercial, which allow you to maintain the same CNI across clusters, both in and out of Azure, or utilize features from other plugins to enable specific configuration you may require. So Kubernetes does not provide a network interface system by default. This is, I'm talking about Kubernetes, right? Because AKS is what? It's a managed Kubernetes, but by default, it does not provide a network interface system. This functionality is provided by network plugins, and Azure Kubernetes Service provides several supported CNI plugins that we use in their advanced networking as well. While the supported plugins meet most networking needs in Kubernetes, advanced users of AKS may desire to utilize the same CNI plugin used in on-premises Kubernetes environment, or to make use of specific advanced functionality available in other CNI plugins. So now you can bring your own CNI. Yes, that's a word, BYOCNI, bring your own container network interface plugin. Well, how do you do that? Well, you need to create a cluster with network plugin as none when you use Azure CLI. And in that situation, you will find the nodes coming under the status of not ready, but the master is online, and then you can go and utilize your plugins. The final update that we have is Azure Event Grid partner events. In order to understand this, we need to understand Event Grid first. So Event Grid is a highly scalable serverless event broker, pub/sub model, that you can use to integrate applications using events. So events are delivered by Event Grid to subscriber destinations such as applications, Azure services, or any endpoint to which Event Grid has network access. Yeah, where event grid has network access. So the source of those events can be other applications, SaaS services, Azure services, and pub sub model. There would be publisher, there would be a subscriber who will get those events. So with event grid, you connect solutions using event driven architectures. And event driven architecture uses events to communicate occurrence in system state changes, for example, to other application or services. And you can use filters to route specific events to different endpoints, multicast to multiple endpoints, and make sure your events are reliably delivered. That's all the event grid does. But what's the partner event here? Well, now Azure Event Grid's partner event allows customer to subscribe to events that originate in a registered system using the same mechanism they would use for any other event source on Azure, such as Azure Service. Those registered systems integrated with Azure with Event Grid are known as partners. So this is not related to the Azure services or only those things, but you can have the registered system, and that can also go ahead and subscribe or other way around, because this feature also enables customer to send events to partner system that support receiving and routing events to customer solution endpoint in their platform. So these are the updates for this week, or thank you for watching. You guys